The lights at Chicago General Hospital are really bright and cold. They shine down on the waiting area for the cancer part of the hospital. Emma Walsh looks at her watch again. This is the time she has checked it in just a few minutes. She has been sitting here for 2 hours. Her nice burgundy suit is all wrinkled now because she has been moving around much. Her leather folder is just sitting on the chair next to her. Emma Walsh is 32 years old. She made Sterling Industries into a company that builds things. People listen to her when she talks. She is very good at being in charge. Emma Walsh is used to being boss in meetings. Most people have to work for a time to be as good at this as she is. None of that stuff mattered now. 3 weeks ago, she found a lump. 2 weeks ago, she had a mammogram to check it out. 1 week ago, she went through a biopsy. Today, she was going to find out if her whole life was going to fall. The thing that was really worrying her was the possibility that her life, the one she had worked hard to build, was about to change in a big way. Today was the day she would learn if she had cancer, and that was the thing that was. On her mind, the thing that was making her so scared, the cancer diagnosis that could ruin her life. Emma was all by herself. She did not have any brothers or sisters. Her mom and dad died in a boat accident a time ago. Her job took up all her time, so she never really had any friends. There were people she worked with and people who did business with her. They thought she was really good at her job. There was no one to be with her when she was waiting to find out if she had cancer. Emma always thought that being independent was a thing. She thought that if she did not need anyone, then nobody could hurt her feelings. Now she feels like that was a sad way to live. Being alone feels like a prison. To Emma, she feels very lonely. Across the waiting area, Robert Hayes was sitting with his back bent. He had his elbows on his knees. Robert Hayes was staring at the carpet on the floor under his work boots. His shirt was clean. It was old. His pants had stains on them from working. Robert Hayes was a boss at a construction company. He spent his days telling people what to do and running machines. 3 years ago, his wife Jennifer died. She had a surgery that should have been easy. Something went wrong. Since that time, it was just him and Grace, his 7-year daughter. She still asked when Mommy was coming home. Grace was a girl, and she really missed her mommy. He felt bad for her because she was so young and she did not understand. What happened to her mommy? He and Grace did everything. Together now, the two of them, and he tried to make her happy. Sometimes Grace would look up at him with her big eyes and ask when Mommy was coming home, and that was very hard. For him, Robert's hands shook a little as he took out his phone. Looked at his favorite picture. It was a photo of Grace at her school's art show, holding up a painting of their house with a big rainbow above it. She had a smile on her face, with a gap where one of her teeth used to be. It made Robert feel a pang in his chest. Grace was at his neighbor Mrs. Chen's house today. Robert could not stop thinking about what the doctor was going to say. What if the test results were not good? What if this cough that would not go away and the dark spot on his lung were something bad? Grace had already lost her mom. Robert thought about Grace and how much she had already been through. He thought about the test results and what they might mean for Grace and him. The idea of Grace losing him was really tough to deal with. His brother was all the way in Oregon. They did not talk very much. There was no one to turn to, no option. If something bad happened to him, Grace would have to go with a different family, which is a pretty scary thought. The phone fell out of Robert's hand, made a lot of noise on the floor. Before Robert could pick it up, a woman who was wearing a fancy suit picked it up for him. She looked at the phone screen, saw Grace's happy face on it. For a moment, something changed in her eyes. Then she gave the phone back to Robert without saying anything. Robert said thank you to the woman and looked at her for a while. The woman had a lot of money, you could tell. Her purse was from a brand, and her red hair was styled perfectly. She was sitting in the oncology wing like him, waiting to hear something that could change her life completely. The oncology wing was a place where people went to get news about cancer. She was there just like him, waiting for news that could change everything. About her life, and the oncology wing was the last place she wanted to be. Emma went back to her seat, tried to calm down by taking slow breaths. She had a meeting with the board tomorrow afternoon. The plan to join forces with Westfield Properties was this would make Sterling Industries a lot bigger in the Midwest. Patricia Thornton, the oldest person on the board, and someone who had always disagreed with Emma was looking for a reason to question.